It's time. It's time, boys, for the man, the myth, the legend, Apollo to finally be upgraded to level 100. So we've got free 1, free 2, and free 3 here. But our original free Apollo here today, we've got 87 million food, and seeing that all go down the drain is going to be a little bit disappointing, but we've waited so long. We waited so long for Apollo to come. It was only a matter of time until we got him to level 100. And there we go. Apollo is officially super free, and your dragon has reached its highest level. I guess technically that's not true because we could actually give him another star, but you know, enchanting divines is a... I hate it. We're very close though. Look, we're at 20 out of 25. We're just low on trinkets, so he will be max level soon. And I guess we'll upgrade this acceptance while we're here, just because, you know, he deserves 2 rare sigils as well. So with this combo, he's actually going to be pretty disgusting in the dungeon with Nezha's help. So we are going to go ahead and throw him in the dungeon and finally take a look at our wonderful boy in the flesh, in battle, as he destroys all he comes across. But very quickly, before I do that, I just want to point out that there was a Facebook post earlier about the greatest divine tournament, and essentially they're asking who your favourites are out of these two, and I mean, this is the semi-finals round. If I'm going to throw in my own 2 cents here, I'm going to vote Poseidon, I'm gonna vote Tai, I'm gonna vote Ra, and I'm gonna vote Loki. I don't like exceptions, and the others are just cooler in general. Those are my votes. What are your votes? I wonder who will be classed as the ultimate divine, and whoever it is, it's wrong because it's not Apollo. So that's all I wanted to add today. Of course, we will have Chrono Changi coming out of the hatchery very soon as well. So we've got that to look forward to. So right now we do have a clan quest open to actually get some more dungeon destructions. So we will take Apollo straight in here. So let's throw silver. We've got free, and we have, who should we throw in the 3rd slot? Normally I end up throwing in like Joko just for the wind. Why not? So of course with acceptance and wonder, we'd be wanting to buff him every single turn. And the quests that we have are normal attacks, which is fantastic because we've got fire, and he does about 2.8 trillion damage, which is, you know, you can get certain combos that are obviously higher than that. For example, if we were to throw together metal and wonder acceptance, things like that. But I'm happy with it. I'm fine with it for now. Of course, us fully leveling up Apollo this time around, we didn't actually gain any unique elements, because the only 2 unique elements that are remaining for my team are, I believe, Metal and Void. And I actually do kind of want to use both of them. It's just, you know, I was gonna level up a different dragon to level 100, but it was so tempting. Apollo had just finally been released in game. I'd been waiting so many... I had to do it. I had to do it, which is also the reason why I had to level him up to level 100 as well. But he will be level 116 very soon, because, you know, for each enchantment star it's worth 2 level ups, so 8 stars would equal 16 levels roughly. But, you know, I'm just happy that we can finally use him as part of our main team, although we do now have 3 fire dragons in our team. You know, normally I would highly recommend not doing that, and just in general not repeating elements. That's normally the best thing to do, but this is what we've chosen. This is the life that we've led, and we have no one else to blame but ourselves for this difficult time. And by that I mean I'm not struggling, obviously, but if only Apollo had different elements, just for the sake of my own team, right? Can we just edit Apollo and give him, you know, Void and something else, or Metal and something else? That would be fantastic. Of course I don't actually mean that, but either way, it just feels surreal. You know, when you wait so many years for something to happen, and it actually happens, it's like, wait. You're joking, right? We finally got him in game? No way. And if you're curious for the fire upgrade I've got, you just probably saw it there, is hot coals. Because at one point I did change EKES to slow burn. I think it was EKES anyway. But the thing is, with the way that sigils work, it just doesn't end up coming out to a whole lot of damage. Whereas hot coals, you defeat a dragon and it ends up doing a ton more. So, especially with Havoc, obviously, if you've got the other sigil, the other sigil, then you'll want to consider taking the slow burn, but it's still not really worth it most of the time. So hot coals just does its thing and just sort of kills everything. So I'll take it. I can't believe he just zapped my Divine Bless and my shield. Did you seriously just do that? No, I'm not going to stand for that. Shark? What? That's actually just BS. Either way, you know, we've got Apollo here. I can't believe that he wasn't part of that Divine Dragon voting thing. But this week we've got the chests, of course, to open up, like with Chrono Poseidon and things like that in them. Oh yeah, we've got Sani as well. Yeah, so why don't I just throw all 3 of my fire dragons into this fight? Yeah, why don't I just do that? So we just get EKES, Apollo, and Lantern all in one fight. What could possibly go wrong? Apart from the fact that I don't have a Blesser, so, or I don't have a Blesser with Wonder, mainly. Because it's like I could bless my other dragons with our Apollo dragon or our Hermes dragon, but unless the dragon actually has Wonder, it's not going to get the 2 billion, not billion, trillion damage that we're looking for. So now that he's dead, let's throw Andy in there at least. So what do we need? Weak attacks and 2 dragons with 1 blow. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Can we just bless ourselves? Again, it's not going to be a fantastic amount, but something is better than nothing, right? You know, with the dungeon, there are a lot of ways that you can be super optimal about it, and I have been super non-optimal this run here because I just don't care enough. And look, I know that there are dragon pieces and things in the chest, but the only pieces I'd be waiting on would be pieces for Chrono Osiris, and I'm very many pieces away from that, so I really don't care. But for the people that did go ahead and waste all their money on the dungeon chests, I hope you at least got something. You know, for the people that were, say, 1 piece away from getting Chrono Chang, then it might be worth opening up some chests, like in the dungeon, using gems, but otherwise, probably not. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still all dice rolling, you're not actually guaranteed anything, so whatever you buy, just remember that you could end up with nothing. You could spend 25 quid, you could spend 30 quid, and you might get absolutely nothing for your value. Which is normally not what I would recommend for a person that's trying to actually, you know, buy things. Normally when human beings buy things, they get something in return. I guess the argument would be that you get enjoyment and pleasure out of it, but only a sick freak finds pleasure out of legitimately wasting his money. Anyway, now that I've just called a bunch of people sick freaks, don't take that too seriously. It's all jokes, okay? XD jokey, haha. Fun. I didn't actually call anyone a sick freak. If it makes you feel any better, I'd call myself a sick freak. It's just I don't waste money on RNG loot boxes. At the end of the day, you can buy whatever the heck you want in life, and I don't really care. But I can say, you know, probably not a good idea to waste all your money on loot boxes that are really unlikely to give you anything of value. I just know too many people that have fallen down the slippery slope of opening up loot boxes in games, and not just DML. I'm talking like League of Legends, I'm talking like Overwatch, and at least in those games, all of the things that you buy for the most part don't actually impact the game, but the amount of money wasted on just luck, it is just like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering cards. It's just all random what you're going to get out of every pack. Obviously, if you buy a full booster box, then there's almost always some sort of guaranteed amount of rares or ultra rares that you're going to get per box. But it's still random which one it's going to be. Because it's like in card games, you'll get a card that's sometimes worth like $10. Or, for the same rarity, you might have a card that's worth $300. And a lot of people just buy booster boxes banking on these super expensive rare cards. It's like, yeah, you're probably not going to get that, even if you buy a full booster box. And a lot of people just buy singular packs. Yeah, you're not getting anything out of that. Anyway, coming back to DML, I only just realised that now, in the Enchantment League, look, we just have a full squad of level 100 dragons. Almost level 100 fully enchanted dragons at that. So, our squad is almost complete. Apart from the fact that, probably inevitably one day, I'm probably going to end up taking the Apollo out and throwing a, what ideally it would be an ancient metal and void dragon. So if the next set of ancients, for example, were void, and one of them had void and metal, that would pretty much be the perfect dragon for my team. So, game, if you want to make that happen, please go ahead and do it for me. The reason why I say an ancient in particular is, obviously, you know, ancients resist things that legendaries and divines don't. But at the same time, before we had 2 legendaries, so our Lantern and Awesome. Then before we had 2 divines, so Hermes and Nezha. And then we had 1 ancient in the form of Ikets. But now we've got 3 divines. Or we could pretend like Apollo is just a big meme, which he literally is. And then throw in an ancient. So then we'd have 2 legendary, 2 divine, 2 ancient. And then everything would be equal, just as it should be. Except Apollo will always be my favourite, of course. But a king does not necessarily battle his own battles. He leaves his subordinates to do that for him. And this is my mental cope for the fact that Apollo, compared to some of the other dragons in the game, is just not the same. I mean, compare an Oya. I didn't even realise I was against an Oya, but compare an Oya to our boy Apollo. Just in sheer base stat, and it makes me a little bit depressed. Why can't Apollo be an exception? Like a super exception? I mean, if you really think about it, Apollo is just a divine ceremony, so he deserves to be the grand ultimate exception dragon. I mean, at the same time, he was stuck in jail for so many years, so maybe he was a super divine exception at one point. But him being stuck in jail means that his true abilities can no longer be called forth. Depressing. That's all that this is. Depressing. Why am I making myself depressed? I don't know. I'm happy he's here. I wished better for him, but this is the life that we lead. Either way now, going through enchantment battles is just going to be super easy because with everything maxed out, what my strat is in the Enchantment League is essentially I set my dragons as my defenders at a slightly lower level so that my points get sort of decimated while I'm gone. And then the next time I log back into the game, I can just do 6 fights in a row and then we go back into the higher leagues and get the enchantment materials. That way, I don't have to sit here manually putting in a bunch of dragons that are like really low levels and manually having to do it. I can just log in and do the battles. Whereas, for instance, on my Android account, very quickly I end up going to a much higher trophy range than I would like, and then I end up having to sit there and spending even more time than I spent battling, actually just D-ranking. And that's really boring. So to avoid doing that, that's why I have this strat here. Everything in DML is just, or a lot of it is just me trying to... I just realised we've got 3 plant dragons on our team as well. 3 fire and 3 plant. Yes, I did just get incredibly sidetracked there. I was just, for a second I was like, wait, is it really only double fire? Or Yeah, is it really going to be triple fire? Because I feel like there's a triple something else, and yeah, it's plant. Which is kind of a shame, because like a year ago, having triple plant would have been chaotic. Like, chaotic good. It's just now with sigils and everything else sort of changing, it's not really the case anymore. Plant is still pretty decent, don't get me wrong. But it's not as good as it used to be. Because with the way that plant used to be, you basically just used to one-shot everything with infection and everything would get super poisoned. You know, there was a lot going on. There was a lot going on in the past. We're not there anymore. I'm gonna leave that quest for later because we do need chocolate. Do we need sponge? We also need sponge cake. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one up. I'm gonna ask for some whipped cream. There you go. Optimizing my recipes. Fab-tabulous. So, I'm gonna throw in some short timer food, come back soon. We've got this game down to a T. Easy pew. I don't know why I wouldn't have by this amount of time. 5 years and what is it, 8 months now? 9 months now? God, it's been a long time. When will DML die? When will we all die? Good question. Let's not get even more depressed today. I already talked about Apollo, that was enough. But, you know, even at my stage in the game, I always throw stuff into my ruins because it gives me lots of extra gemmies. Always do it. It's like if you got a free slot, you could be throwing dragons in there. And plus, because I do have max VIP level, I do also get the benefit of free refreshes, which is wonderful for trying to get free dragons in here to explore. Before you have the free refreshes, the ruins can be a massive pain trying to get through them. But, you know, it's not like we got any more levels of Chronos. Oh my goodness, I just thought, what if they introduced more levels of Chronos? How distraught would we be? I'd be distraught. Getting Chronos to level 5 took a while, but oh my. Imagine if there were 10 levels of Chronos. Ugh. Ugh. I hate it, but at the same time I love it, because when you get to, unlocking the bits of Chronos, obviously when you get 3 of them, or 3 of the shards, you get a 6-hour skip. And sometimes you could get loads of 6-hour skips. It's just, obviously I get it every 2 days now because it's upgraded, but just having a 6-hour skip whenever you want it, pretty good. Pretty good overall. And I almost forgot about doing my sigil map fights again. I feel like I do this all the time. It's just like, I'll do everything else, and I'm like, oh my god, there's actual sigil fights to do. I did actually see a forum post about this. Was it this morning? I think it was this morning or yesterday. Where people were just saying that the sigil campaign was too demanding. And I cannot understand that whatsoever. People like, oh yeah, it's just there's a, we need a break because the sigil campaign's so tough. I'm like, really? I completely forget to even do it because the fights just feel so easy. Now that I've got a combination of sigils that just work on my dragons, I feel like I'm not going to encounter any problems with this sigil map ever again. Like, in the early stages where we were just getting sigils all set up and everything like that, it was like every battle, it was like, oh god, I'm gonna have to be really careful about this, and if he does this and if he avoids that attack, I'm gonna be screwed, oh no! And, okay, I say that as I just got subdued. That's what it was like in the early stages of sigils, but nowadays it's like I don't even really think, and then sometimes I'll take a lot of damage, I'll be like, whoopsie daisy, and I'll go and one-shot the enemies anyway. It just feels like doing side quest map fights. It feels like nothing. So I guess my point is that it's just not exciting whatsoever. I know that it was introduced as a way to be like challenging and add new spice, but it's just boring, and the only rewards being trinkets is even more boring. At least in the map you get XP, you get gold, you get food, you get a bunch of stuff, basically, right? Whereas here you get sigil trinkets, and even then you don't have a lot of sigil trinkets. So it's like, well, I don't really care. But you do 4 fights a day, every day, you get a free dragon out of it, and you don't really think about it. At least I don't. I don't know, it just feels like the whole point of the sigil map, which was supposed to be a new challenging thing, was just pointless. Oh well, that's my thoughts on it. I just don't think it was... I don't think it's had the effect that was originally planned for it, if that makes sense. I think they planned for it to be an intriguing addition, but it's just sort of turned into a massive slog. But that's like all the events in DML. All the events in DML are just slogs these days. It's getting really boring, but yeah, I still played the event on 2 accounts. Where did I get so many tickets from? I think I opened them in the dungeon. We got some free ones today from the community challenge, which was nice. But I'll keep collecting some more in the dungeon when I'm actually paying attention, not talking at the same time. But for now, you know, keep playing the solo event, which is also another painful, annoying event. Ugh, God, speaking of which, I'm just gonna feed a dragon quick, like, once more. There we go, fantastic. Anyway, for now, we've got Chrono Changing coming soon. We've got free 1, 2, and 3, which means we've also got free 4 in here. Free 1, 2, 3, and 4. So free 4 is here. And we will hatch him eventually when we've got that other divine slot free. So for now, thank you for joining me. I hope that I can see you again soon.